Hi, I'm Jane King, and this is New to the Street in person back here at the NASDAQ market site in New York City. This show is all about public, private, and blockchain companies, how the CEOs, the founders, and the innovators bringing you lots of opportunities to consider. Here we go. Modular Medical has created the next generation insulin pump. And with me is the CEO, Jeff Besser, to explain this. So you received clearance for this pump on September 4th. Remind us why you think there's an opportunity here for this and how this could really kind of change the insulin pump market.
Well, we think there's a great opportunity because even though pumps were introduced 30 years ago, there is still 80% of the people who should be wearing a pump or could benefit from wearing a pump who still aren't doing so. And we think that's because the current pumps are very complex, very costly, and very cumbersome, or some combination of those three things. And so our pump is a simpler, easy to learn pump that offers all of the accuracy of the other products, but is something that you can learn to use in less than 30 minutes and manage in less than 10. And
I remember we were talking about how difficult it is to kind of learn. A lot of people kind of give up or it's inaccurate, but this really makes this all much user-friendly.
Yeah, I think the insurance companies are just very afraid that to get you to go on a pump might lead to them buying you a pump and then you not using it. And then they've lost both ways, right? Because they've bought you something expensive and they're not getting the benefit, because the benefit is tremendous. An insurer will save, according to one study, $10,000 per patient year by getting you to wear a pump, including a $5,000 placeholder for a pump.
Yeah, your pump will save the insurance companies that much.
Any insulin pump, because any insulin pump will offer you that same benefit of 50% of your insulin in a slow basal drip, and just by giving you the ability to bolus around meals by pushing a button rather than excusing yourself and stabbing yourself with a pen or a syringe, you're going to do it more frequently, which is going to keep you closer to baseline, which is going to lead to better outcome.
What kind of feedback have you gotten from people who've used this?
So when we got cleared, we weren't allowed to actually trial it pumping insulin on a human being, but we've showed it to lots of people in the space, lots of diabetes educators and endocrinologists, and we were just at the ADEPT conference in Chicago a couple weeks ago that the ADA put on for underserved communities in this space, and the feedback was very, very positive. I think people understand what kind of patients they would put this on, and they also know that there is a huge group of patients that are still seen not by a specialist but by their primary care physician, and that number is actually growing because the number of endocrinologists is shrinking while the number of people with diabetes is growing. And so almost no primary care physician will write one of the current pumps, but we think there's a very good chance they'll write ours.
So what has to happen then for this to be commercially available?
So we're just qualifying the line in Mexico right now to sell commercial product into the U.S., and that process will be finished in the first half of 2025.
And it sounds like investors are just starting to learn about this and look at the companies and the evaluation.
I think that there's a lot more interest in the space, and why wouldn't there be with this many people? Almost 4 million people who need who could benefit from wearing an insulin pump. So I think there's plenty of room for new players here.
Okay. Jeb, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Is your garden struggling to stay hydrated? Meet Waterless Garden, the organic solution that saves water and boosts your garden's health. Packed with humus materials and trillions of beneficial microbes, Waterless Garden improves soil structure and increases water retention. Use less water, get better results, and watch your garden thrive. Waterless Garden. Less water, more life.
There are over 83 million dogs and 50 million cats in the U.S. Up to 80% of senior cats and dogs can suffer from osteoarthritis. Spring is helping treat them and is now available in all 50 states and over 800 veterinarian clinics. Learn more at newtothestreet.com. PetVivo, a publicly traded company, ticker symbol PETV.
Michelle Song is the CEO of Atelier Song, an interior design brand based in New York. And Michelle, welcome, and share with us your inspiration. Like, how did you become an interior designer? What inspired you?
Well, where it all began was that my mother had a brief career as a theater actress. And growing up in the theater industry and seeing how the production of the stage has been made, I was so fascinated about how to transform a space through visual narrative. So that has been my dream since the beginning. And years later, I attended FIT, Fashion Institute of Technology, and completed my 4 years in BFA in interior design and minor in art history. And afterwards, I was working for an architect in New York. And then during the COVID-19 pandemic, there were so many changes. Every design industry meetings and the gatherings were shifted toward online. And that's when I thought it was such a great opportunity to expand my network in Europe and in Asia. So ever since then, I've been working with designers, Italian designers and architects in Milan and Rome, and eventually which led to me opening my own office, which allowed me to collaborate with different designers and architects and for me to travel abroad as well.
Well, I was going to ask about that because you're not just an interior designer, you're a business person and a startup, but like an entrepreneur. So how does all that work?
Through collaboration always, because I find that working with, well, let's say for architectural projects, architecture and interior design is inseparable. And along with whatever is going on inside, let's say furniture design, selection of the art, working with the gallery, it's such a big project, which every project is different and so diverse, and which is very, very exciting.
Yeah. How would you describe your design philosophy? How do you work that into your projects?
I would say my design philosophy is that from the beginning, it always has been creating a backdrop for people's memories. And since we spend so much of our time indoors, I believe that the space should not only be comfortable, but also beautiful and benefiting the people that are in it.
Oh, that's interesting. You're right. I mean, we're inside so much, we should be inspired by the spaces that we're in. Can you talk about some of your significant projects that you've done?
Currently, I'm working on a project on 57th Street with Leslie. It's a men's fashion brands. It's another like combination of another like fashion, interior design, which is very exciting. But when I really look back, one of the most memorable project that I had was working for a 5-star hotel in Saudi Arabia. And I was the art director for the project, and we managed to produce and source for private clients and producing 250 original artwork and prints to be furnished throughout the 43 villas in that 5-star hotel in the diplomatic district of Riyadh.
Yeah.
And about challenges, let's say, my mentor, Avi Benayoun, he always emphasized me that no matter what you do, you're always dealing with people, you're always working for people, whether it's designing a space, furniture, selecting artwork, it's for the people, you know. And he said it's so important that you deliver the work diligently and build a trust with the people that are involved in it and respect the people who does the work altogether. With his advice, we finished the project, which was 3 years long project. And the client was very, very happy about the outcome.
That sounds like a very interesting project. And there's so much kind of things going on in Saudi Arabia that, you know, they're really building a lot. What are some trends that you see emerging in interior design?
I would say I believe in technology, the integration of technology in interior design. For example, like there's more and more clients asking for like realistic 3D renderings and the virtual walkthrough. Like as long as you have a phone, you don't even need a laptop or a fast computer. As long as you have a phone, you can virtually walk through the space that we designed for you. And one particular project that I did with the New York developers is that to take the Midtown commercial building and converted into the residential units. So it was a big project because each unit have like 9 apartments, and it was a big building. And we were in charge of interior design and the integration of the 3D and virtual walkthroughs. So by the time the completion of the construction, they already had most of the units were rented out, because when we designed those spaces, we studied the demographic of who are the potential buyers and what kind of a design that they prefer. So we offered them 2 to 3 different design options, so they could already visualize what their space would look like. So most of the rental units were rented out.
Wow. So the tech really to help with that. And you mentioned Saudi Arabia, Asia, Italy. How do you incorporate kind of that global perspective into your work?
To be honest, the more I travel, the more I learn and to be humbled by how the local architects adapted to their unique topography and the cultural context. And again, like going back to how inseparable like art and architecture is for me, it's such an exciting opportunity to work with various architects and the professionals to create beautiful spaces.
Yeah, and there's so much interesting architecture around the world that you can take a look at and incorporate. So what's the future for Atelier? Like, how do you make sure that you keep your business on the cutting edge and continue to have success?
Well, in terms of in the bigger picture, like the design industry is such a fast-paced industry and many things change so fast. And but for me, what I truly believe in, there is a Korean idiom that is called ongo jishin, which means to take from the past to learn for the future, which really applies to the whole ethos of my company. Because there are so many projects and the clients that they want to create something that's trendy. But what I really truly believe in is that each project and each property have their own character and like deeply rooted history and cultural context. So for us, let's say we take whatever that they already have and we transform it to something that's fresh and original. And whatever the project that they have, we're always here to make it into the reality, into their vision.
Very interesting. Michelle, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Is your garden struggling to stay hydrated? Meet Waterless Garden, the organic solution that saves water and boosts your garden's health. Packed with humus materials and trillions of beneficial microbes, Waterless Garden improves soil structure and increases water retention. Use less water, get better results, and watch your garden thrive. Waterless Garden. Less water, more life.
There are over 83 million dogs and 50 million cats in the U.S. Up to 80% of senior cats and dogs can suffer from osteoarthritis. Spring is helping treat them and is now available in all 50 states and over 800 veterinarian clinics. Learn more at newtothestreet.com. PetVivo, a publicly traded company, ticker symbol PETV. Welcome to Game Changers. I'm Anna Berry. Today, I'm joined by Dr. Nav Dhaliwal, CEO of Iagon, a decentralized cloud platform using blockchain to revolutionize secure, efficient data storage and processing, ensuring privacy and transparency for all. Welcome back to the show, Doctor. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks, Anna. Happy New Year. Glad to be here again.
Thank you. Happy New Year to you. So with the start of this new year, talk about some of the recent advancements Iagon has made with your services, specifically these 3 grants that you've received. How does that impact your users?
Oh, it's going to have a great impact for our users for sure. I mean, that gives us funding runway for a while now, and it's around 4 million USD in terms of grants. Could value up to more depending on the price of ADA. But we're great, and we appreciate the community's support through these grants. Basically, what the grants are the three grants are supporting enterprise solutions. The first being Worth Group, which is a Fortune 500 based out of Europe. It's a German-based company. So basically, we'll be helping monetize 3D parts with them by securing storage and also providing royalty payouts for them as well. This will bring in a big industry, a new industry will open up for them as well, and it'll bring up a lot of revenue for Iagon and Iagon's node operators. Also, the other grant was with the Fortune 500. We aren't able to, let's say, reveal the pilot right now in terms of who they are, but it should be revealed shortly this month, and hopefully that will have a big impact on our progress and our community and our token holders as well. And we've talked briefly about this pilot and what this entails. The pilot is the Fortune 500 running 3 storage nodes, basically running on their business infrastructure or also through their business partners as well. And eventually, if this is successful, it could turn into a much bigger use case with them, maybe even also for computing power, maybe also for the laptops that they produce, being a white label solution on their laptops. So it's a great progress. And the third and final grant was basically surrounding these two first ones I talked about. It's just a security audit grant, which allows us to fund. It funds basically our security and architectural audit, which gives us more promise and more trust towards the enterprise customers that are coming on board and future enterprise customers are coming on board. And we're working with some leading enterprises there as well, SecureWorks, and also we're working with Tweak as well. So they're well-known companies and well reputable in the space for these audits.
Fantastic. What a way to start the new year with 3 very important grants like that. So I know you have a broad spectrum of users, but talk about some of the non-tech savvy people. How does Iagon approach the non-tech savvy users who want this solution for themselves? How can they participate?
That's a great question. I think that we have realized that, it's a big gap between users that want to participate in the community and don't have the technical knowledge to do so. So we talked about the Cyclone in our last segment, in terms of, Cyclone device being a plug-and-play device, being able to easily offer storage to the network. The other one we're coming up with is delegated staking, which is coming out this month. So delegated staking is basically allowing users that hold tokens to delegate their tokens to other node operators. So you don't need to actually run a node. You can just delegate your tokens and let the tokens do the work for you, thereby participating in the shared storage economy through this method. And it's just an easy, simple way to do that. That's coming out this month. That's going to be exciting to see for people that want to participate.
Well, thank you for including us all.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, this is a great way to kick off the new year. Thank you for this update, and we look forward to continuing on following your journey with Iagon.
Thanks, Anna. Have a great evening.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for watching.
Is your garden struggling to stay hydrated? Meet Waterless Garden, the organic solution that saves water and boosts your garden's health. Packed with humus materials and trillions of beneficial microbes, Waterless Garden improves soil structure and increases water retention. Use less water, get better results, and watch your garden thrive. Waterless Garden. Less water, more life.
There are over 83 million dogs and 50 million cats in the U.S. Up to 80% of senior cats and dogs can suffer from osteoarthritis. Spring is helping treat them and is now available in all 50 states and over 800 veterinarian clinics. Learn more at newtothestreet.com. PetVivo, a publicly traded company, ticker symbol PETV.
High Performance Battery. HPB is a German company whose battery technology is redefining the limits of conventional batteries and is not only safer, but longer lasting and greener. With me is Dr. Sebastian Heinz, CEO of HPB. Great to have you here in New York from
Thank
Germany.
you for being here.
So describe HPB. I gave kind of a brief description, but tell me what the company is all about.
Yeah, thank you very much for being here, for having me here. HPB is a battery development company. So we're a technology developer and we're licensing our technology out to our customers. And it's all about a brand new battery technology.
Now, you do not make the batteries, right? So explain your role in the battery ecosystem.
Yeah, so if you come to batteries, it's all about science, it's all about production. And we do the part of the science bit with the bridging to serial production. So we have the specific know-how for our technology, and we license this know-how and the components we have out to our licensees who are doing then the business and the production.
Why are batteries central to the global energy transition that we're going through right now?
I like that question quite a lot because it is like this. If you produce wind energy and solar energy, you can't store energy in the grid. So you need to consume the energy right away. And if you don't have the consumers with you, you should use buffers. And batteries play an important role for buffers, being buffer technologies. And so you can store the energy which is produced and use it when the demand is there.
How is that going? Did you have investors? Do you plan to do an IPO someday? Where does all that stand?
Yeah, this is a very good question in terms of how to make innovation happen in the market, because you need to have quite a long duration of your story to overcome to really get into the markets. And we've chosen a unique way to us. We have, of course, we stick with private investors, but we haven't done any dilution so far. So we're not this classic venture capital driven ABCD round thing. We have set up a company in Switzerland, which is an AG, and we're selling shares to our private investors. We have more than 300 investors supporting us and helping us to bring that innovation into the market, and no dilution at all. And fun fact, being here in this place, we as High Performance Battery won't do an IPO, because that's the task of our licensees. They do the asset heavy bit, and it's their story to go to the stock exchange and do the IPO, but not us. It's us. We call it the HPB club. If whoever joins in right in time will benefit from dividends, and that's it.
Yeah, but you are looking to expand in the U.S.
Yes.
What are those plans?
For sure. So US is one of the most spectacular countries for developing and deploying this technology. So of course we came over to offer this technology to some of potential licensees and to invite people basically to become member of the HPB club. So to tell the story jointly and see what happens.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. Fascinating to hear about your research and the breakthroughs that you've had.
Thank you so
Sebastian.
much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There are over 83 million dogs and 50 million cats in the U.S. Up to 80% of senior cats and dogs can suffer from osteoarthritis. Spring is helping treat them and is now available in all 50 states and over 800 veterinarian clinics. Learn more at newtothestreet.com. PetVivo, a publicly traded company, ticker symbol PETV.
Is your garden struggling to stay hydrated? Meet Waterless Garden, the organic solution that saves water and boosts your garden's health. Packed with humus materials and trillions of beneficial microbes, Waterless Garden improves soil structure and increases water retention. Use less water, get better results, and watch your garden thrive. Waterless Garden. Less water, more life. Exciting news from SGTM. A new shipment of Waterless Garden has just arrived.
So if you take a look at the hundreds of millions of tons of food waste that's being wasted every year in America, this is just a food off the table that's being thrown away. Hazardous trees. A hurricane blows through, a tornado, a windstorm. It's going into a landfill. It's releasing greenhouse gases. Companies all around the world are composting. They think they're doing the right thing, but what they're really doing is they're hurting the environment. Those gases are being released. So SGTM, its purpose and its mission is to combat these fertilizers and pesticides and all these nasty things that are causing cancer. They're causing a very unhealthy planet. Our mission really is to take these wastes that are all over the world and to transform them into valuable nutrient. So right here in just one location, out of thousands of locations throughout the US, just one, 100 acres, Asatula. In our facility, we have 2 million cubic yards. If you take a look at a cubic yard is 27 1 cubic foot bags, or it's 400 2-quart bags. So at the end of the day, we have enough product, which is much larger than the Empire State Building, $300 million in retail value humus for our waterless garden already manufactured. The only way that we believe that we're going to make a transformational change across this globe is we need help. This can't be done alone. SGTM is definitely an incredible company with an incredible vision, but that vision is to partner and to have partnerships. You know, shareholders that come in that believe into sustainability, doing the right thing. So you can be a part of this, whether you're investing into the company or whether you're joining our team, partnering, utilizing our technology. We want to make it available for anybody that has a waste issue that wants to make a difference with our planet.